Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you looked at the thumbnail, you will see that I've got a little bit of a mold problem in one of my Avic enclosures. Now, it's something that happens from time to time. Certainly when you get sort of sticks and stuff out of the forest, like I like to do. So occasionally, um, I think you get like spores and stuff on the wood. So really has exploded very, very quickly. Got this horrible sort of black fungi here, and then like this white mold on this side. So the tarantula itself doesn't actually come into contact with the horrible stuff. It's webbed right across the top of the enclosure, so it spends most of its time at the top here or behind the cork bark. So I say it doesn't actually touch the horrible stuff, but such a pretty spider, the Monatrix, that it's a bit of a shame to have it in such a mess. So yeah, we're gonna get this little spider out of here, sort this out, and give it a nice clean and pop it back in. So a little bit of a shame to have to to disturb all this webbing, and it has been doing really well in here, but I've just got to get rid of this mold. It really does look bad. So yeah, let's get into it.
So as you can see, it's webbed right across the top. Now this is a very heavy webbing species of Avicularia. Now I think the best thing to do here is just very carefully peel this back. Now the spider has just gone behind the cork bark, so I won't be grabbing the spider. Not often it comes off in one big piece, so that's a good start. Right, I'll just break the glue seal on the little water dish there. Let's say the actual water dish was right underneath all the webbing. Now let's get this horrible mouldy thing out of here. As you can see, there's sort of like this, there's sort of a mixture of black and sort of orange fungi, and then on that side it's like your classic sort of white mould. So ugh. So I will be washing my hands thoroughly after this. Right, now I'm hoping that I can just get the bark off with the spider on, because these can be quite skittish little avics. They move pretty fast when they want to. But there you go, look. See that stripy little bum? Let's just see if we can just get it out so you can have a little look at it. Oh. Certainly a very unique colouring for an avic. They have this stripy abdomen from when they're absolutely tiny. So it's one of the only spiders which pretty much stays the same colour its whole life. You can see that sort of the legs and the carapace there, they really blend in with the cork bark. So yeah, it's really hard to make out. But yeah, such lovely little spiders. Now I'm hoping that this one is a female. It's certainly growing a little bit slower than my suspected male that I have. So we'll just leave it on its cork bark, 'cause it seems pretty chilled out on there. So we'll just pop it in this bra plast tub for now. Chances are it'll probably stay where it is.
Now you might imagine having all that mould in here has made the enclosure smell, but all I can smell is the soil, so it hasn't actually affected the environment in here as such. So your nose is, it's a good indicator of whether things are okay. It might seem a little bit strange, but I do occasionally give some of my enclosures a bit of a sniff, Certainly if I've got a fossorial spider, which I haven't seen for a while and might be a little bit worried about it, instead of digging it up, I just give it a quick smell. So you can generally tell whether things are, okay. So yeah, that's my top tip. Give your tarantula enclosures a sniff now and again. But yeah, just remember with your new worlds, don't stick your nose too close to the substrate because you don't want a bunch of urticating hairs up your nose. So especially if you're super sensitive to them. But yeah, let's get this cleaned up and pop the spider back in here. Now, if you have any thick webbing that you want to get rid of in your enclosures, if you just use a wet kitchen towel or toilet roll, just with water, it makes getting the webbing off a lot easier. If you've ever tried getting it off dry, it's so stubborn to get off. So we'll give this a bit of a clean out, and we'll get this set back up. So it looks like our little tea has stayed in its cork bark, so it's made my job a lot easier. Obviously feels secure, just tucked under that little bit there. Now there doesn't seem to be any mould on the cork bark. That's one of the advantages of cork bark. It does seem quite mould resistant. So yeah, I'm going to pop this back in with the spider still on it. I'll just pick off these little bits of sort of black moss. You can see the end there does look quite black, but that's just where it's been stood in sort of the damp substrate. So I think what I'll do is I'll pop it back in. I'll probably just pick this. I'll just open this end up here a little bit, and then we'll pop it back in. I'll leave the end that was in the soil. I'll put back in the soil. Now these guys, they do sometimes build a little bit of a sort of a dip in the substrate at the bottom of the cork bark as well. So I'm going to pop this little branch in here because I'm not going to glue the cork bark with the spider on it, just in case it touches the hot glue. So you see it's quite happily tucked down the back there. So hopefully it will settle back in quite quickly. But being an Avic, you don't know, it might just web the lid, web up right where the lid is. But hopefully it'll stay at the back there. Now I've only got one tiny bit of moss left, so I do need to go out and get some more. I do tend to just sort of go out and get some when I know I'm going to be doing a setup, because you can store it in a in a sort of a storage container with a bit of soil in there. But yeah, I just tend to get it when I need it. We'll just pop the little water dish in here now. Hopefully it won't web over it this time and actually use it. But if it does web over it, I just have to add a little bit of water to the top of the webbing now and again, just with my pipette, so we can still get a drink. So I'll just cool the glue down a bit and then we'll fill the water dish up. And there we go, happy days. So here it is, our nice new setup for our Avic. Now, I'm hoping that because I've kept the spider actually on the cork bark with the webbing, that it shouldn't take too long to settle back in again. Now, I'm hoping that it's going to set up home like my other Matrix. Now, this one here, I do suspect this is a boy, this one. You can see it's set up home behind the cork bark here. It's got 3 nice little sort of web tunnels. So hoping that this other one's going to do something very similar to this. Still has access to its water dish, so it's kind of left the rest of the enclosure untouched. So really love these spiders. They're very, very shy, and they are a small species of Avic. They are actually the smallest Avic you can get, so they are classed as dwarf tarantulas. But really do like my little tarantulas because they don't take up much space, and a lot of people only like big spiders, but I do like the little ones as well. So but yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you do like it. Maybe consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.